Fez, where's your best bet going? Is it on this game or the next game?
Best bet is on this game. I'm going back to the well. Washington wide receiver Deami Brown over 42.5 reception yards. So, look, RJ, he was not a big part of the offense, all right? And the first half of the year. But he has become every bit as scary Terry McLaurin. The last two games in the playoffs, 89 and 98 yards. End of the year, the second game against the Eagles, 56 yards. And I'm a big believer, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Washington is going to him. He is one of their key go-to weapons. And so at 42.5, it's just too low. I know the Eagles have a really good defense. I got to go with them again.
Well, here's the thing. Is they have a good defense, but is that kind of mitigated by the fact that that good defense presupposes they're going to be winning, and thus Washington is going to be throwing more?
Yeah, that's a good point. And if you look at the pass yards for Daniels, it's not like he's sitting at 190. He's at what's he at? Scott, 224 and a half. So think about this. If he's going to throw for 224, all right, and they're going to not let McLaurin get that many catches, you do the math, you would expect the number 2 wide receiver to pick up 60 yards.
Now, what was the total last week?
Now, that's the rub. So last week he was, I believe, right around 34.
Jeez.
Yeah. So, and the week before he was it may have been 36 last week, and the week before he was 29. So we are definitely paying a big tax.
But here's the thing: if you look at the target, a good way to. Whenever there's always insufficient sample in the NFL, almost always. So the question is, can you find something that's analogous that is representative of the same thing? There's just more numbers to it. So targets is an example of the people who do a lot of daily fantasy stuff. They will look at the targets because it's kind of like pressures versus sacks, right? If a guy gets a lot of pressures without a lot of sacks, it could be he's not skilled at sacks, but it is most likely he's just been unlucky with the quarterback spinning a certain way or whatever. So I would look at the targets.
It's been only 6 the last 2 weeks. He's caught 5 out of 6.
Ooh, see, now that worries me a little bit.
Season high 8 targets versus the Lions.
Okay.
So he did have 8. Okay.
Hadn't been higher than 5, which it was against the Bucs, 5 targets.
Okay, so now that's a great. So read him from the, let's say, 2 games left in the regular season through the playoffs, his targets.
So that would be the Eagles game in Week 17, 5 targets, then 4 versus the Cowboys, then 5 versus the Bucs, 8 versus the Lions.
Okay, so now the question is, if he goes back to 5, and then he's got to average over 10 yards a target, which is not going to work.
That's right.
Okay. See that's
but all the success. Remember, Daniels is a rookie quarterback, and if I'm a rookie quarterback, why would I not do what's worked for me in the playoffs?
But isn't that what Philly's thinking?
No, because they got to stop McLaurin. McLaurin's their number 1 guy.
Okay. I will say this. Let's not forget. Let's not, lest we not discuss it. As you being on top of this a week early, that's particularly nice. Now you're making an assessment that's still valuable this week, and I trust your assessment.
Now, part of this is I saw the money bombing in on this dude against Tampa. Okay, so like he was in the high 20s, and they bet him all the way up into the low 30s, like both fists, and he soared over. And then, so last week I was honest, they are definitely going to go for Brown. And again, the same thing happened where I believe he was in the low 30s, and then he got bet up to the mid 30s throughout the week. So I anticipated they'd get bet up again this week. It's just the bookmakers actually opened him at a much higher number.
Okay, so at what number would you say, let's say you could only make one bet on this, and it was at this number, but it's the last number you would bet. So let's say, I'll give you an example, 59.5 you'd bet, 60 you wouldn't. But where's that number at for you?
44. And it's slim.
Wait.
I'm going over 42.5.
Okay, so 42.5 is the current number?
Yes.
And you would, at 44 you'd pass, or that'd be your last play?
I'd pass at 44.
Okay. Huh. And this is the best bet?
Other than my hypothetical
Super Bowl
matchup I like even better.
Yeah. So at the end, after we do the second game, you're going to have a Super Bowl bet to look at. Okay. I think I know what it's going to be.
I think you do too.
Yeah.